And I'm back. I left to get this box because my electronic stuff has gotten to the point where I have more stuff than will fit in a shoebox. Will anyone ever listen to this stuff? I don't know. Like, if we succeed, sure, if we make it big. But statistically, no matter how prepared we are, the odds against that are pretty low. So, what if we don't? Pretty unlikely. So is someone going to listen to this? Probably not. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about what goes into it. I need some rubber bands for all these cords. Recently, I've gotten very serious about cleanliness. Not physically, I mean like keeping my stuff ordered. Because I've gotten to the point where if I don't keep my stuff ordered, if I don't keep tidy, organized, I won't know where a lot of my stuff is. And to have things but not know where it is, or even worse, to have things and not know what it is, or worse, to have things and not know that you have them, is worse than not having them at all. Well, it's better if you sell them, but in reality, that doesn't really happen all that often. It's worse than not having stuff that you're not going to use and takes up space and causes clutter. It's worse than not having the stuff at all, because it gets in your way, which inhibits you from doing things. And if you don't know it's there, it doesn't provide any use. So, realize that not knowing where my stuff is kind of like destroying my stuff. Except it's worse than destroying my stuff. And since I moved, over half of my stuff I realized I didn't know I had. Like, for example, I had 5 things of deodorant. Because apparently the first 4, I didn't know where they were, or that I had them, and I went and bought a 5th. So, yeah. So anyway, that's why right now, even though it's really important for me to build stuff, I am organizing things. Because if I don't know where this stuff is, it's not going to be any use. And it's important that this stuff is useful, because I need this stuff to build things. That's not even electronics. It's not even electronics either. This isn't long enough to tell. Cables, pincers, or wire stripper. This mouse is a broken scroll wheel, so I don't want to give it away. Frankly, I need to replace it. There, now I have to replace it. That was me putting it in the trash. Pocket knife. I'd like to start streaming this stuff instead of just uploading it to YouTube. So I'm going to need to break off this recording soon so that I can do that. The reason that I need to break off the recording is when uploading to Twitch, you need the Twitch ID, and Twitch ID is a secret code that lets you upload things to your channel. And I don't want to broadcast that code publicly for obvious reasons. So, yeah. So, do I have another thing like that, USB cable like this? Looks like I do. This one is getting thrown away. Hey! This principle of if you don't use something, it's worse than not having it at all, extends really well to thrifting. Because when you're thrifting, the goal, it's really easy to buy more stuff than you need. So the goal should be to not buy anything at all. It's kind of counterintuitive, but I find it really helps out. And it really helps. So, one of the reasons I like programming Arduinos, as opposed to just programming, is you look way cooler programming an Arduino than you do programming a computer or a server. Well, not like a physical server, but a virtual one. Because programming an Arduino, you've got this huge, gigantic pile of wires in front of you, which makes you look kind of like an evil genius. If you're programming a computer, like a conventional computer, personal computer, programming on a personal computer with nothing else, you don't look that cool. Because it's barely indistinguishable from like filing your taxes using an Excel spreadsheet. There's a kind of middle ground here with command line stuff, but it's still nowhere near as close. I should do this with regular tape instead of electrical tape. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, if I hadn't been keeping things clean, I wouldn't have bothered to go find this proper tape. And if I hadn't gone to go find this proper tape, I either would have left this bag unsealed, or I would have fixed it with painter's tape or electrical tape, both of which are an inferior solution to the problem of fixing this bag. So, here is something that keeping clean has, in a sense, fixed. Yay for cleanliness. Well, organization, really. Not so much keeping clean as organization. Good organization. FTW. Have this sticker. I want to put it on something, but I don't really know what. I could put it on the back of my laptop, but I'm saving that for a Dark Science logo. I could put it on the inside of my laptop right next to the keyboard, but there's not quite enough space. A friend found this just lying on the street. So I'll have to think about a place to put it. It needs to be a solid flat surface. It's a little big for a phone. Would go really good on the back of an iPad or something, if I had one. Kind of use a Nook. I should get that up and running soon. Again. Now, except it's really bad for PDFs. Should crack that thing just because. Alrighty, good. Everything's up and running. I can good to go for actual programming. Now, I've got the phone powered into one side of this. iPhones are so incredibly terrible. I never noticed how bad they are until I started just comparing software side by side. And the App Store review process actively makes it hard to submit patches to software, which means that, and by making something inconvenient, make people not do as much. So people don't patch software as often in the Apple Store versus the Android Store. So Apple's software just isn't as good. And the primary purpose of a phone is the software you have on it. So Apple phones are terrible because they have bad software, because they don't let you fix their bugs. Well, they do, but they make it inconvenient to fix bugs. And you don't want to make it inconvenient for software developers to fix bugs in your platform. That's just dumb. Like, that's really, really problematic. It's like the problem between a free country and a totalitarian regime. In a free country, it's easy to fix problems because nobody gets in your way when you try to do something. In an oppressive company, it's really hard to fix problems because the government doesn't let you do things. Or even if they do let you do things, they make it inconvenient to do things. So problems in a free country just tend to get solved. And by a free country, I mean like any country without corrupt institutions. It doesn't matter so much who's running something, as long as the institutions like post offices and stuff work. But it's very, very rare for a totalitarian regime to get those things to work, because people end up buying positions, and then when people buy positions, they extract money from them. That's corruption, and corruption keeps systems from working. There's a really good book about this. Ask me about it some other time. I'm not going to bother looking it up right now because nobody's actually listening to this. Alrighty. Check. I can look these up later. iBus Daemon is fine. It hasn't caused me any problems yet. Android Studio is available. Open. Open. I said open. Yes. I don't want to preview. Patch mechanism. So, hold on, I'm gonna shut down this channel for the moment so that I can